slightly goofed that last run there, but that won't take 1,000,000 points away in your marks. This is the Peppermint Rag from ABR Sounds Grade 2. I'm just going to talk through a couple of little sections to help out my students. These videos are posted to give some demonstrations of pacing and of rhythm. I think particularly in this one, looking at the DCL coda, which means da capo al coda, or from the cap, or from the top to the coda. So we come down to this section here where it says DCL coda, then we go back to the cap or the top, come down to the coda and jump to the end. That's the first thing to notice about this. The second thing to notice about it is that it's a piece of two sets of repeats. The first section this little riff that's being played here is a G chord, G major minor chord, so it's got the B natural from the G major, also with the, well, it's termed an A sharp here, but enharmonically would be a B flat as well, which gives you a minor, as opposed to, which gives you the major. Used a lot within rag music and within jazz music, so if that sounds a little unusual to you, it's not wrong, but just get used to that sound. Then that sound moves across here, across to the same sort of idea going on, but this time on a C chord. Watch your positions here. To the G, I keep catching that incorrectly. That is a D sharp. I just keep catching it the wrong way. Caught it in the original run through and also there as well. It is a D sharp. Don't take it that I'm playing it the correct way. I just got it wrong both times. Sorry about that. However, when it comes to performance, everybody is going to catch the odd note wrong. That is realistic within performance. When it comes to edits and takes within the studio, it gives you an unrealistic idea of what is really there. Like photoshopping a model gives somebody an unrealistic self-perception. Musicians have the same problem with regards to the odd little slip that happens in a piece. I've got students coming into the studio who will play a piece pretty much perfectly, hit one mistake and think the whole thing's terrible. That's a bad self-perception of music, so don't get caught up in that trap. It's the wrong way of looking at it, and no professional musician would ask anything more of you, and certainly no examiner would ask any more of you. One thing to remember is examiners have been through the exam process. That's what gets us to being examiners, is being qualified as musicians. So the first set of repeats takes you through largely this thing, a couple of twists and turns, and then you go into the relative minor. We were in G major, we're now going to play in E minor. And then these two bars gets repeated 4 times. Just the same stuff 4 times. Yes, that is correct. It was a little small on my screen. Just a D7 chord here. Now, leading you into the DCL coda, back to the beginning, coming down to here, and jumping from the coda to the end, and yes, you do that in the exam, because if you weren't, so you don't do repeats in the exam, but you do DCL codas, because if you don't, then there's no clear way of getting from the coda to the end without missing the majority of the music. So you'd actually be missing a sizable chunk of the music if you didn't do the DCL coda, which is why it's important that you do it. So. I can't quite see the point at the bottom here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up here and let you see what's happening here. So if I jump to the coda, so you've got this G at the end, hook, quaver, quaver, hook, quaver, quaver, hook, harmonic at the end, so lightly touching on the strings at the 12th fret, interrupts the strings in 2 halves and sends these notes here up the octave to here. So that last section goes. So one more time for good luck. So 1, 2, down. Alright, I'll see you in the next video, and we'll take it from there.